Hey, got a favor to ask you. Figure while we're out here in the wilderness anyhow, we might... Preferably before we get to Hiram's. It's on... You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. I hate it every time I give someone the opportunity. But this... Nothing we can't handle. I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. We were on Monarch when the corporations pulled out, and we helped a lot of people. I haven't seen 2 of them in years, and the rest I know to be dead. I'd like to gather their effects and bury... First, we go to Hayes. I buried him a ways from our encampment. I'll show you where he rests. He had a medallion in his effects. That's what I'll bring home. A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's cave systems. Trouble is, if we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out. Then, we kill the bitch, and bury... Thanks, Cap. Hayes was the best self-sacrificing son of a saint I ever met. Halcyon is worse off with that. Now, if we're gonna lure the Manta Queen out, we'll need to find Rebecca and Anders. They took a UD... Think it's time I call in a favor with Hiram. If anyone can track them down... I don't know much about it. It paid well, so they took it. They said they'd be back in a couple of weeks, and that was a long time... I should have. I really should have. But soon after they left, Hayes and the others died. And to be honest, after him, I stopped trying. Thanks. I'm still not convinced I won't come to regret it, but we've started down this path. Might as well see it through. Now come on, let's make tracks before Hiram... How the hell do... Wonder if Hiram's home. Just kidding. Guy never sets foot outside.
I wonder how they punch a signal through the gas giant's magnetic field. Can't be easy.
Not realize this, being as you're an outsider, but the blaring alarms indicate the station's on lockdown. Which means you can't ever get to me. So leave already.
Here we go!
Here's the elevator, but... ain't gonna budge while this place is on lockdown. Guess we keep moving forward. Look for another way up.
Huh? Incoming! Nice one!
Out there, whoever you are, yes, I can see you. Come here and talk to me. Face to intercom. I can't tell if you're brave or simply touched in the head. What in the galaxy are you doing sniffing around my And you, Nyoka, What are you doing?
You could use the socialization, you son of a bitch. Also, he hired me.
To what purpose? I happen to have some significant problems I am dealing with right now. Marauders, running out of purple berry wine. No. We'll deal with information-related business later. As I said, there are big... The Marauders want me dead. And since my hired hands have clearly turned idle, it appears I need you to clear up...
Or we can call you Hiram, on account of that's your damn name, and doubly on...
What? Everyone calls me that. You're here, and you're armed, aren't you? The feed's gone grainy, but it looks like you're packing... I know Nyoka is, for sure. I barricaded the broadcast center, but I can only hold out for so long. Clear the... They destroy the transmission equipment, and the elevator and doors to the second floor are back online. Hurry before I... Too many, considering I hired a bunch of no-good mercs to keep them out in the first place. Already, they've caused considerable damage to the station's property. If they... Aside from the bits I'll be paying you, you said you wanted something from me. Something information-related.
I smell blood. Big mistake.
Tear them apart!
The length of them, I think.
Marauder free at last. I'll get the door. You hurry on it.
Never thought I'd be ecstatic at having the walls painted in blood, but seeing as it's not mine, I'd say this calls... This ought to square our debt. One hefty payment for a highly valued service rendered. But, allow me to pose my question in another manner. Ah yes, our little chat on the intercom. You're looking for the premier broker... Phineas must have sent you. He's the only one insane enough to send someone to Monarch to rush me. I knew it was only a matter of time before he came a-knocking. Look, I might be late, but I fulfill my
Oh, you do you? I have lost track of the number of beers you owe me for chasing
Are you fibbing?
I take offense to that. Look, okay, it might take... I am awaiting but a single incoming transmission containing the information. But MSI and the Iconoclasts are clogging the airwaves from Stellar Bay and Amber Heights. In their war against each other, they're scrambling... The bandwidth! There's too much blasted background noise. Nothing gets through, but... Which, of course, has inadvertently affected the incoming port and my... No, they're jamming the limited frequencies we have at our disposal. Nothing extraplanetary can get in or out until the frequency... The safest bet is to convince Graham and Sanjar to... You'll find it directly to the east, almost in sighting distance. My former partner, Sanjar, transmits from his office in MSI's headquarters, and don't let him try to fool you. While his messages might seem like gibber, I understand why he needs the bandwidth, but we had a deal and he's brought... Amber Heights is one of the only surviving settlements outside of Stellar Bay. Graham Bryant and the Iconoclasts there got their hands on a working relay station. Now they're ceaselessly transmitting philosophist ramblings on my airwave. Graham and his Iconoclasts believe anarchy is the way of life. Sanjar opposes it, as he's taking strides to corporate... You do that, I'll be here, waiting on the receiving end. Luck be with you. I have a feeling you'll be needing a pinch of it, plus a... Oh, great. I love doing
Aw, you called us friend. I'd normally entertain your self-aggrandizing delusion.
Important to you is not the same as important to me. Although I do recognize that you may have earned some... Tug on my heartstrings, why don't you? Look, I'll do what I can.
Rebecca Hodges and Anders Wadsworth. They took a UDL contract back when Monarch went to shit, and I need to find them.
If UDL hired 2 hunters back then, it would have been for creature clearing purposes. These are the coordinates for the outpost under the last UDL. Is that a trick question? Because to answer it, you'd need to pay me. Of course, I could offer you a vastly more interesting bit of data instead. We'll call it an exchange. Ask me what... There are so many members. Do specify. If you try to cite me on this, I will deny. Do you understand? What I am... MSI's ownership of Monarch is technically legal, but it would give MSI too much power on... That the chairman is politically motivated to keep Monarch from being re-recognized, and that is all you will get from me. Luckily for you, they are a curious lot. Insufferable. And short... Sanjar's not actually at fault for his past performance reviews, but he can keep hunting for loopholes to get back. Not in his life. For Nebula's sake, even with the loophole I gave him, he's only in charge of MSI. I gave Sanjar and Graham legal information that would allow MSI to own... The execs had their concerns, but before the matter could be resolved... Some say Graham suffers from nightmares that leave him sweat-drenched. I would assume it stems from the friends and family he... You mean between MSI, the Iconoclasts, and myself? I bet neither of those megalomaniacs told you I was... Back when the colony was still Terra 1 and corporations were abandoning us left and... I offered them a legal way to take control of the planet. If MSI were the only corporation here, they could claim sole ownership. Precisely. The other corporations were fleeing because of the hazard clause declared, but MSI had lagged behind, giving Sanjar and Graham an opportunity. Take over MSI? Precisely. Without me, they never would have done more than play Revolution in hushed whispers over scuzzy kale ale. Thus, the bargain was struck. They could run MSI while I would operate Devil's Peak Station. Competing ideologies. Graham believes Sanjar has become corrupted by the corporate lifestyle, that he is now similar to the original corporate executives they sought. And Sanjar has learned the hard way that Graham is quite morally... Luckily for you, not much, admittedly. Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical... As far as what's between us, I mean. Outside of that... I do know this much. There is a sharper side to the good scientist than you'd expect. If allegations are to be believed, the experience... I am not convinced as to the validity of these allegations. Luckily for you... What? No. Why would I go out of my way to intercept messages from Earth? There's no mark... Now, if you wanted me to intercept a certain one... How low you seemingly regard my... I may have a secret for you. for the right exchange. How low? Nyoka, pick me up some Stimulotion and a bottle of purple berry wine when you're...
Hey, take a gander. The door's busted. Rebecca? Anders? You in there? Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old... But we've only ever done that if we're in... Oh no. Oh no. What did you do?
Oh, Nyoka. I'm so sorry.
I don't... They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you! The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses! I'd to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister. At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still... Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the man. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her... That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we?
Eyes up!
Down you go!
That's the last of them!
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to... There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door. Password to the door? Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old... Rest of us just thought it sounded cool. It's an old cave system we tried to turn into an encampment. You'll see when we... Fucking right we are. Whew. Here we go. I haven't set foot...
Here we go!
Nice hit! Down you go!
Woohoo! Nice work!
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage, but I ain't. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Oh, 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a saw, and Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first. Believe me, she had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Me too, Captain. But I'm starting to think... Now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental.
Here they come!
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes... That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough. Captain. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal. What? Why? Them's painful memory. Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain.